Ladies and gentlemen, this is Sugaray Raper, and we are live at the Suga Shack.
What up, everybody? How you doing? This is your main man, Sugaray Raper. I'm gonna have my special guest today will be my man, Mr. Nick Schnebelen. Hope everybody enjoyed their Halloween. Happy Halloween, everybody. I got to go down and take my pumpkins down. We had a lot of trick-or-treaters last night. That was really cool. First year back since COVID. So I ran out of candy by 8 o'clock, but that was a good thing. Yeah, Halloween is my favorite holiday. I don't know why. It used to be Christmas and all that stuff when I was young, but I really love Halloween. And all the little kids came dressed up in great costumes. So like most of them was wearing Demon Slayer costumes, Kanata and all that stuff. If you're in anime like me, you know what I'm talking about. I think some of the young kids were kind of shocked that the old man Sugaray knew exactly what they were. They're like, "Oh, you watch Demon Slayer?" I'm like, I watch all the anime. Been doing this since I lived in Japan for the Marine Corps back in. I lived in Japan from '87 till the beginning of the war in '90. So as a young Marine, and also Marine Corps' birthday is coming up November 10th. Veterans Day is coming up. It is going to be great. Run the vendor. Hey, how you doing? From Oregon is in the house already. How's everybody doing? Hope you're doing well. Hope you're not watching too much news because it just make you think the world is splitting apart. Or at least America's splitting apart, but it's not. You know, politicians don't like each other. They got nothing to do with us. We just need to make sure that we vote. November 8th is voting. It's important to get out in this general election and vote. However you're going to vote, it is important for your voice to be heard. It is a right that was gnarned by blood, sweat, and tears. And y'all know I don't get political, but it is voting season, so I'm putting that up there. Thanksgiving is coming up. The question of the day is, what is your favorite activity during the wintertime? Depending on where you live, that changes for everybody. And of course, you can fly anywhere or drive it where you want to. But the question of the day is, what is your favorite winter activity, baby? All right. Simplified Banker, what's up, brother? How you doing? Simplified from Emory, Texas. Emory, Texas, man. You know, I just drove through there. I was down in Lafayette. We spent the night in San Antonio, but I was in Lafayette to do a thing with my brother Willie J. Campbell. Y'all know he's been diagnosed with LAS and ALS. I'm thinking Marine Corps now. LAS. All the Marines know what I'm talking about. ALS. And we want you guys to pray for him. Also, Mr. Gary Wright. Pray for him also. There's so many people who are sick and infirm right now. I remember my grandmother, one of her prayers, she used to always say it was a quick prayer. She'd get up in the morning and she'd say, "Lord, I want to thank you for a reasonable portion of my health and strength." When I was young, I never understood what she was saying. Now that I've gotten a little older, it makes perfect sense. She always said that. Thank you, Lord, for a reasonable portion of my health and strength. A reasonable, that's the key there. A reasonable portion of my health and strength. That is deep. We are live, y'all. Everybody's doing good. I'm doing good. Pam is doing good. Big Red House, Milwaukee. How you doing, baby? Peter Vaughn, where you from? From Thetford, UK. Man, I enjoyed Thetford. The Red Rooster Festival was a lot of fun. I hope it's not too many years they invite us back. That really was a great time. The Red Rooster Festival in Thetford, England. All right, let's see here. Not that many people joined in yet. I hope we're not having any problems. Y'all let me know. Is Facebook doing okay? This is going live to Facebook and YouTube. So hope everybody is doing good. We're going to give it a few more minutes to get a few more people in. And it's been really great, man. It's really, 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 really great. The IBCs are coming up the 24th through the 28th of January. I'm going down there to represent and see all these new young acts and see what they made of and what they all about, baby. I think I'm gonna be a judge. Also give it a shout out to Kimberly Horton, our new president, our interim president. Hopefully they'll make her the president. She's doing a good job and she knows the blues and she's helped a lot of blues people out, including myself. So right on. We get just a couple more minutes and a few more people in, and then we'll get to some videos. But the question of the day is, what is your favorite winter activity? Is it cooking? Is it skiing? Is it running away to Hawaii, somewhere warm for the winter? What is your winter activity? Let me know what's going on. Let me know. Sugar wants to know. Inquiring sugars want to know, baby. Right on. I'm still not getting. I got like 4 people that are coming, and it says that we only have 10. So hopefully we're not having a problem. I hope we are not having a problem. Everything looks good on my end. Nick, I know you on your iPad. They can't see you. Did you pull it up on your phone? Make sure that we're not having a problem, because I don't have Eric Sassaman, who is on vacation, and Eric is usually my inner voice there while we're doing this and checking everything out, making everything good. So I got to rely on y'all today. I got to rely on y'all. All right. Well, we're going to start anyway. We're going to get on here and get started. This first video I want to pull up, and then we're going to get some conversations going. This is my young brother, man. I love this cat. I met him when he was like 17 years old. I was touring through St. Louis back in the day. This is the young man, Mr. Marquise Knox. We're going to play this one for you, baby. This is Marquise. I think he's in Argentina. And congratulations to the folk in Brazil for voting in for democracy. They just finished their vote. And like I said, it's kind of like I'm getting political, but y'all know I don't get political, but I just want to say these things. November 8th is voting for us. Brazil just took their democracy back and voted in a democratic government. And, it was starting to lead toward a dictatorship, I believe, but pretty good. All right, here we go, y'all. Marquise Knox. Can a young man play the blues? Marquise is asking. Can a young man play the blues? Come on, baby.
1, 2, 3.
What's that? I can't hear you, baby. No, your sound is all right. The video's going. Gail Banks, how you doing? Jazz Farmer, how you doing, mama? Time did go back. I didn't realize that. Time don't change her. That's why. Oh, okay. Sorry about that, folks. It's been crazy. I've been through so many time zones in the last 10 days.
Everybody want to know.
I think we're an hour off, man. The time go back on you guys because they don't move here. I'm in Arizona.
Play the blues.
Time don't move. So I think you might be 3 hours behind me now, right?
Everybody wanna know.
So guys, let me ask you, should I keep the show going or should we come back in an hour?
Well, not only can I play them,
Lane Donald, the Gator.
If you listen at me, baby, I can sing them too. Well, when I first got
turn your
my
volume
guitar,
up a little bit, baby, if you can.
Baby, I was only 3 years old.
Yeah, but wait a minute.
When I first got my guitar, baby, I was only 3 years old.
Yeah, I'm sorry, I can hear you over the video. Deb Wozencraft, how you doing, baby? How's it going over? I think you're in Spain. How's Spain doing?
Well, my grandmother told me.
Yo, we're an hour early, and I did not realize
she
the clock's been back.
She said, baby, you forever go.
So I apologize for that. I want to know, ask you guys, do you guys want me to continue the show, or do you want me to come back in an hour? I'm early.
When I grab my guitar, I don't look for no altar wall.
Let me pause there. What were you saying, Nick? You good, but we do have people already from all over the world in, so that's why I'm asking them if they want me to, if you guys want me to wait and come back in 1 hour. I can come back in 1 hour. Would you be able to do that, Nick, if we needed to come back? Let's see what the people say. I did not realize, man, and I'm so tired of this. I wish they'd get rid of this whole time change thing. It's 2022. Farmers got electricity now. They don't need the daylight so much like they did back. I mean, I've always been a farmer too, so I understand about the daylight. But the whole reason was so that the daylight saving time was for the farmers, so that they could get more hours of sun in for the farming. But I mean, we've been to the moon and we've crashed satellites into roving asteroids now. I think that it's a bit outdated. Wait a minute. Nick saying it throws all the farm animals off. They get to eat an hour later. Hey, YouTube, how you doing, brother? We got some people over on YouTube. How y'all doing? The question I'm asking right now is that I did not realize that for everybody, I'm in Arizona, at my house in Arizona. The time never changes in Arizona, even when it changes in California. Arizona is one of the two states that we don't fall back, we don't fall forward. It is the time. And I forget that that other places time change. And so I was not paying attention because I think I've done something like a little over 6,500 miles of driving in the last 8 days. So I actually got 8 hours of sleep last night after my good friend, Mr. Bob Corritor, yelled and screamed at me about doing too much and that I need to be around for a while. And I'm gonna take that to heart. I love Bob, and he's just a good person. So we're gonna give this just a couple more minutes because we are way early. Because normally it's thousands of people up there, but I only saw like 25, and I was like, "What's going on?" Like, oh, so right on. That's cause you're on time. Well, yeah, I guess we might as well. And a lot of times it winds up going on for a while anyway. So I'm gonna go back. We were playing Mr. Marquise Knox. Let's try that one more time and make it do what it do, y'all. Come on, Marquise, do your thing.
Oh jive, oh jive. Whoa, when I grab my guitar, I don't look for no off-the-wall jive. Well, now the young man don't have the blues. How in the world we gonna keep him alive?
That's how you was gigging last night, baby. San Diego in the house. Come on, man. I can see you now, Toby. Yeah, I love Marquise. He's good people, man. He get a little wild, but that's good. He's a young man. I like that. can't hear you over the music, brother.
Everybody want to know, can this young man play the blues? Everybody want to know, can this young man play the blues? But not only can I play 'em, babe, oh, yes, I can sing them too.
There you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Young Mr. Marquis. I think it was last year that he was out touring with ZZ Top. And that's a blessing, that he gets to do that. We are, as I just found out, we are an hour early because you guys time changed. I'm putting it on y'all. I'm in Arizona. The time don't move in Arizona. We're, as far as America goes, we're one of two states. That I think it's only two of us. I can't remember what the other state was. That time never changes. So we have to remember that. If I'm going to California, I'm gaining an hour, and everywhere else is, or actually, if I'm going to California, to have fall back, yeah. So if I'm driving from my house in Arizona to my house in California, I gain an hour. If you were 2 hours ahead of me, now you're 3 hours ahead of me. I always forget that. We haven't turned our clocks back yet here in Encino. Y'all haven't? Somebody said I was an hour early. So Utah is the other. Okay, Utah is the other state that doesn't change. So Arizona and Utah, we don't change. They got rid of that. Gales and Cali, they got rid of that here years and years ago. Actually, I've been here now 12 years, so it was done before I got here. So many years ago, Arizona is one of the states that got rid of daylight saving time and all that good stuff. Again, we live in 2022. It's 12:19 there. Maybe I am on time. Did the time change? Let me ask Alexa. Alexa, when does daylight saving time start?
Arizona does not observe daylight saving time. In the United States, daylight savings time starts on March 13, 2022 at 2 a.m. and ends November 6, 2022 at 2 a.m.
So we on time. What they talking about? Yeah, we're on time. Wisconsin changes next Sunday. Yeah, I think it's next Sunday for everybody. So we're on time. So okay, people are starting to come in now. Y'all just sleep. I don't know what's wrong with y'all. All right. Anyway, the question of the day today is, what is your favorite winter activity? Winter is here, baby. Last night or night before last, when I drove back from Savannah and then had to drive to LA. I got to my house. Was that last night? All the day, wasn't last night because we had the trick-or-treaters last night. So happy Halloween to everybody. And hopefully your Thanksgiving will be just as blessed. It was 37 degrees here in the desert. It was 80 during the day and 37 at night. That's almost a 50-degree swing, 43 degrees. That is crazy, man. But people forget that it's the beautiful time of the year to be in the desert. It'll be coming up. I think we'll have days like it'll be 65, 70 degrees during the day. But it'll drop down to freezing at night. It's nice and cozy. You can play footsies with somebody if you got somebody to play footsies with. Right on. That's the way I like it. And again, big shout out to my record company, 40 Below Records. I want to say thank you to them. To my producer extraordinaire, who's been winning awards left and right here recently, Mr. Eric Korn of 40 Below Records. The album is doing very, very well. We appreciate that. In Too Deep. Today, my guest would be the legendary, the incredible, the amenable Mr. Nick Schnebelen. I will bring him up. He's backstage chilling right now, looking good. We also want to send prayers to the Jerry Lee Lewis family. I know he passed away recently, and I'm trying to think of the actor. I can never remember his name, but I've always loved his little character, little guy. And he passed away. Great comedian and great actor, many parts. And we're gonna be playing some music, and we want to give a shout out to Willie J. Campbell and to the Campbell family. I drove down to Lafayette this past week because he is suffering from ALS, and me, Jennifer, my buddy Kid Ramos, Sean Pittman, Anson Funderburg, Mike Morrison. So many guys were there to record an album because he wanted to make sure. Barbara, how you doing? You gorgeous, sexy. That's all I'm saying about that, Barbara. I won't get in trouble. We were able to we were blessed to all be in a room at Dockside Studios down in Lafayette, and recording an album for Willie is what he wanted. He said, I wanted to record one more album before he couldn't play. So we all went down and did that. And I think they wound up with like maybe 16 or 17 tracks. So it's pretty cool. And I love Willie and Lisa. They're just good people. And whenever someone, and I know that Nick recently, the last few years, that he and his family had a serious loss also. So, Nick, I know you backstage. We ain't gonna talk about that. We're gonna keep this happy, but I tried to send you a message. I don't know if you ever got it, but I could dig it, brother, and blessings on you and your family, man. Through my whole life, it's basically been my grandma who passed and my two brothers. And now I have Pam and my two brothers. I don't know what I would do if I lost one of them. So that and my son. So that's tough. And also want to give a shout out to Intrepid Artists. I'm back with Intrepid. Rick Booth, thank you for letting me come home. Had some craziness that went on there with big agencies and big management and all that. But I'm back, baby. I'm back. He's back and black as ever. Black and unapologetic. That's the word I'm going with now. I like that. I've been seeing that a lot. Rick, how you doing, brother? All Saints Day today. It is All Saints Day, man. There's so many holidays. It's hard for me to keep up with them. Y'all got to keep sugar straight. Got a lot going on. Marine Corps birthday is coming up November 10th. Simplifies to all the leathernecks, or actually we used to say Teufelhunden. That's German for devil dog. Teufelhundens out there. And, it's a great, great, great thing. And having said that, you know what? Let me play this one real fast. Here's my buddy, Kid Ramos. And, Kid is years ago, when I was still with the Managed Boys, when they got diagnosed with the cancer, we were in Beirut, Lebanon. And that's when he got diagnosed and flew home. And he survived that. And then he was in the hospital again a few months ago. He's lost quite a bit of weight, but he's still looking good. He looks good. And he's playing his butt off. Here he is with the 44s. And I want to say this is the Maui Sugar Mill in Tarzana, California. Check it out. Yeah. Yes, Mr. Leslie Jordan, ladies and gentlemen, died in a car accident. Leslie Jordan, I love his character. I love him. Never actually met him in real life, but he was always such a ball of joy. See him walking around in high heel shoes. It was crazy. I got to get back out to the Maui Sugar Mill. It's been a couple of years now. Cadillac Zach, call me up, man. I've been doing the men, but I want to come back over there and do something. Thank you, Rick. Thank you for checking in, brother. See you in Reading. Yes, I'll see you there. That's going to be crazy. I walk off the stage in Tucson with me and Shamika, catch a red eye, and land in Reading, and walk on stage. So we'll be like zombies, but we'll make it do what it do. Johnny May on guitar, and I think that's JR on the drums back there. I'm not sure who that is, man, bass. Deb Ryder, that's my girl, baby. I love Deb, baby. Deb and Rick Ryder, good friends of mine. crazy next year. This year I've been picking people where I'm playing. And everything that went on during COVID and the damn cancer. So next year I'll be wide open, baby. Wide open. Wide open. I love kids playing. All that extra trouble he put in there, but it's his kid. I know the kids. Where am I seeing? North Avenue, Albany, all the way to Switzerland. Got to go phone call from the boss. I'll keep going. What up, baby? Y'all, I'm very cool. I miss y'all too. We coming back. Actually, I'll be in the Portland area with the swing dance, but that's way up in the Right on. Well, y'all, check you what. You know what? Before I bring him up, I got some videos I want to show him. Let me see what I want to do. Actually, I'm gonna show one right now of our guest, Mr. Vigdis. You should have been here this week then at the Dark Season Blues Festival up in Svalbard in the North Pole. Vigdis, how you doing? Yes, I know I should have been there, baby, but we're gonna try to do it next year. I've already talked to JT has already talked to the booking agency, so I think it's gonna be JT's last cruise next year, his color cruise lines. So we're gonna come do that, and then we're gonna come up to the dark season and play that also. We'll be in Romania. A lot of bookings. We'll start posting that probably in December. Eric Sessman, aka the Wizard of Oz, my media manager, who is normally here typing everything in, is stuck. Last night when he called me, he was stuck in Dallas. He had missed his flight to New York. He had to spend the night in Dallas because they messed it up or something. So he'll be back. You can talk to Zach, but I think Zach has called me a couple times. But at the time, I wasn't ready to go out and do anything. But yeah, we like I said, we'll get him on the schedule for next year. But if you want to, you can. That's up to you. Here's one from my man Nick Schnebelen. Now Nick and I knew each other. Let me give a little story about that real quick. We knew each other. I knew of him. I knew him when he was still with the other band, the tough band, Trample Underfoot. And they would, I was just kind of starting. I had been around a while, but I think I was just starting to make traction internationally. Well, actually, I played internationally for many years before anybody even knew me in the United States. That's just the way it works sometimes. It's like I couldn't get any love in the U.S., but I was in France probably 3 months out of the year, and then in the rest of the world, Brazil, Argentina, Paraguay, Cuba, Germany, Spain, you name it, I was there. And not playing anywhere in the U.S. because I wasn't getting in love. And then that changed about 10, 11 years ago. All of a sudden, I was playing 180 dates a year, and but I was still working with a bunch of different bands. And one of those great bands, a friend of mine named Patrick Kaiser, and Patrick Kaiser is a crazy SOB. I love him over there in Basel, Switzerland. Patrick Kaiser, if you're listening, I love you, man. And the guys from Davidoff Cigars, I got to give you guys some love because whenever I come, you guys got cigars for me. I appreciate that. Anyway, Patrick Kaiser had this crazy idea. He had talked to me about putting together this thing called the Blues Giants. And we went over the first time. It was me, Abel Castillo, Mike Zito, Willie J. Campbell, Jimmy Bott. And that was the group. And then the next time, and we toured, it was a success. We loved it. Mike Zito had to drop out because he like me, had a lot going on. The gumbo was getting thick. And we set up another tour for the next year, or maybe it might have taken a year off because it's a special event type thing. The Blues Giants, I think they were just doing something the other day with a whole different lineup. But we don't always get everything like that. It's weird the way the Giants work. It's kind of flow in, flow out type deal. But anyway, we went back, and this time it was Albert Castillo, Nick Schnebelen, myself, I think Jimmy Bott, was it Willie J? And Willie J again. And we toured through Europe. I think we did like 10, 12 dates. I can't remember, but man, we had a blast. And I love Nick's energy and his playing. And he got so much energy. One of the few guys that can match energy with me, I think. For a guy my age and my size, even though I'm down 20 pounds. The goal is to drop 70. By the time I start really rolling next year, by March, that's my goal. I don't know if I'm gonna reach it, but that's my goal. I'm feeling good. The arms looking good again. You know, like it. Like, no wiggle there, baby. No wiggle. Oh yeah, I like it. Now just they all this good loving, all that good living. I got to get rid of that. Anyway, I'm just having fun right now. Here's where y'all. Here's Nick Schnebelen. I'm gonna play this one, and then we're gonna bring him on stage. Check this out. See if you can get with this. Song is It Ain't Me. Nick Schnebelen Band, ladies and gentlemen.
I was working on the front line, you busy on the back end, running around in the moonlight with your so-called friend. I asked myself, am I crazy? Now it's plain to see you done made a meal out of me. It ain't me.
Thank you, girl.
It ain't me that you need.
Yeah, the red-headed sunbird, no Kathleen, and the Groove Council.
I had to leave my car. Broke down in a parking lot. You was in my home, giving what you got. I heard your excuses. She tried to turn it around. Yeah, as if I didn't know her news was all over town.
Yeah, I'm already scheduled to hit line never to get
It ain't me.
4 times winning Walla Guitar Festival.
Yeah, you need.
Nick, I saw you headline that was a couple years ago.
Come on, set me free. It ain't me that you need. Whatever you're looking for, baby, I know it ain't me. It ain't me.
Radio show called Acousticity. I have a hard time saying it every time. Acousticity. I'm digging this, Nick. Man, to me, I'm not sure. Spain has been having some problems, but I know that the booking agency, they've been trying to work on that. Nick, you on the ground, man. Gail Banks, literally. That was nice. Think is this an original? I'm digging that, man.
Tired of your excuses.
Bridget Lawson, I'm gonna have to get you on the show, man. You always been here since day one. Great
Oh,
bass player,
you're
baby.
running
Left-handed bass man.
around.
He said, left his rule.
I won't let you destroy my
Remind me of my buddy,
life.
the legendary Mr. Gerald Johnson, left-handed basses also.
You ain't gonna burn me down. It ain't me that you need, baby. It ain't me. Come on, set me free. It ain't me that you need. Whatever you're looking for, baby, I know it ain't me. It ain't me. Tired of your running around, around,
Nick Schnebelen, ladies and gentlemen. That boy, he bad mama jammer. We're gonna bring Nick up stage here in just a moment. That was one of his originals, It Ain't Me, off one of his last albums. We're gonna be talking about that in just a few minutes. Nicole Mullen says awesome guitar, and Cash LaRue says something about West Coast gal. I'm not sure what that is. Cash LaRue, are you a West Coast gal? Right on. Nancy Lee Puckers gave you 5 claps in a row, baby. All right, here's one. I had to do this and then pay some bills. Here's one from the new album, In Too Deep. We were invited by the Broadcasting Association to EXPN studios to record for all the great broadcasters and streaming producers and all that stuff. That you want to talk about a tough crowd, because these people have seen it all. They normally it's like a big conference to them, but we got the invite to come to do it. And I'm probably calling their name wrong. And they loved us. They gave us so much love, and they even put up a video. So I'm gonna play that, and then we're gonna bring Nick up to the stage. Get ready, Nick. After this one, you're coming live. The non-com. That's it. Non-com.
Listen, I recall the day we met. You and I were no sure bet. You say
They can't see it yet, Nick. Nick. You backstage, though. I'm the only person that can hear you sing. Give it a second.
I say, cause baby, you're out of sight.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That looked good when you had it.
Listen. Aces. That's what I'm holding. Go ahead and call my love. You can raise me, girl. I ain't folding. No limit to my love.
Yeah, this was crazy. We were playing New York, and then we went and did the Sirius XM, and then they called us to do this. So it was like 3 shows in one day. So the voice ain't all there, but I'm trying to make it do what it do.
I touched my good mama, and I burned my scars. See, sunlight
Gotcha, Miss
on
LaRue.
my shoulder, fruit on my vine. Let's turn this water into wine. Yeah. Can you dig that? And this is the refrain, go like this here. Aces, that's what I'm holding. Go ahead and call my love. You can raise me, mama. I ain't holding. No limit to my love. 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 Come on.
Danny Alvala.
Can't do it.
Los Lobos family. His daddy plays with Oingo Boingo.
Come on. Aces, happy birthday. That's what I'm holding. Go ahead and call my love. You can raise me, girl. I ain't folding. No limit to my love. No limit to my love. No limit to my love. No. No limit to my love. No limit to my love, girl. Yeah. No limit to my love. No limit to my love.
Big shout out to WXPN. Thank you guys very much. Ladies and gentlemen, without any further ado, I'm going to bring him to the stage now. Put your hands together for Mr. Nick Schnebelen, ladies and gentlemen. Right on. Nick, how you doing, bruh?
Great, man. How you guys doing? It's good to see you. I miss you so much, and it's good to be out here with everybody else in the metaverse here, hanging out.
The metaverse. That's the new term now, isn't it? Metaverse.
Yeah, that's what I hear. Yeah.
Right on. Where you at?
I'm in Kansas City.
Kansas City. Here. Which side?
I'm Missouri side.
Oh, the Missouri side. Yeah. When I first started going down there, they used to freak me out. I'm like, yeah, I'm in Kansas City. And people like, yo, you in Kansas City, Missouri, or you in Kansas City, what's the other side?
Kansas.
Kansas City, Kansas. One time I was touring down through there many years ago, and I wound up playing like the downtown area. They got that square down there.
Yeah.
So at that time, tell you how long ago that was. Your sister was still with Girls with Guitars.
Oh man, yeah, that must have been like the city market.
Yeah, I think that's what it was called. Yeah, City Market.
That's
So I
a big
played
thing,
there, and
man.
then the next night I played Knuckleheads or something, and it was like I
Yes.
didn't know. I kept saying, "Wait a minute, I didn't leave the state." They're like, "Yeah, you did when you went across that little bridge." I'm like, "Okay, whatever, man."
I do. I remember that show actually. I remember that when you
Were you there?
I was there for that. Yeah, yeah, man.
Wow, that's been crazy. So how's it been going, brother?
It's been a lot of local stuff. Hanging around in Kansas City. Got some, we got some great clubs in town here to play though, and I've been getting out a little bit to travel, but mainly it's just like little flyouts and things like that. We flew to San Diego. That's the last time I think I saw you was at the San Diego Blues Festival. Was
Shoes? When was that?
that was last May?
Oh, that was the Gator by the Bay.
Gator by the Bay. Yep.
Wow, man, I had forgotten already.
I know. We were leaving, and you were just getting there.
That's right. Now I remember. Now you refresh my memory. That's right. Because I remember talking to you in the basement. The guys at the hotel. We were at the hotel.
Yeah, we were at the hotel. Yeah.
Yeah. Right on, man.
Made a record right before the pandemic hit, and that was awful at the time because we had so much going on. We were just gone. We did the cruise. We were on the road with George Thorogood, and then we were in Atlanta, and all of a sudden it just stopped. Music stopped, and I sent the guys home with a credit card in the van and said, "You get home, guys." And,
it was crazy, man. Thorogood and those guys. I never met George, but the rest of the band, Bill Blau, all those guys are actually really good friends of mine, and we smoke cigars together and hang out. Yeah, it was crazy for me too, man. I was telling somebody, I told the story before, in a 60-day period, I got nominated for a Grammy. I got nominated for BB King Entertainer of the Year. I wind up getting the third largest booking agency in America, UTA. I wind up getting one of the third largest booking agencies in Europe, ATC. George Benson's manager became my manager, and I had a full-on world tour. And then my wife also got diagnosed with cancer. All that happened in 60 days. And it was crazy. But the funny thing is, I've told people before, for me, the pandemic wound up being a blessing in disguise. I mean, it was tough on the band. I did the best I could trying to get money to them and take care of my band. But, I needed to be home. And you know how my schedule was. Which it looked like next year is going back to that. So my reprieve is over with. Look like Intrepid has already got right. It's not even what you call it. I think they've already booked something like 20, 25 dates or something like that. And it'll probably be 100, 150 date year next year, which is cool. We ready to get back out there. We got the van all tuned up with new tires and it was crazy, man. It was crazy. I mean, how did you keep the band together? It wound up being a chance for me to revamp the band, which I wanted to bring in a bunch of younger guys and whatnot in a way, because touring the band was older, and when you touring that much, it is hard. People don't realize, even if you are staying in a 4 or 5 star hotel, they don't realize the craziness with touring. I mean, it beats up your body. Go ahead.
Well, the thing for me was it happened. One thing I know for sure is that the pandemic was different all over the country. I mean, all over the world. Different parts of the country, different regions, handled it differently. Some places were locked down hard, and some places weren't so locked down. We were pretty locked down, but I couldn't. I mean, you understand too, touring like with the touring band. I've been with my guys for six years. With Cliff, my bass player, almost 7. And it's like a freight train, and it takes a couple, a year and a half to really get that train moving. And when you just try to put the brakes on and stop it like that, it's catastrophic.
Yeah, it is.
So now I'm trying to ramp everything back up. But I did the same thing, man, because I toured with my brother and sister for about 12 years, and then I went right to doing my own thing. I didn't take any time off, so I didn't have any time, and it was the time to get things with my kids a little better. Like that. I mean, we have a great relationship, but just when you're on the road all the time, you're not at home. So got to work on relationship with my children a little bit, and work on my home, my house. This is my investment, so I've been able to
no doubt
take care of that. And then also, I do a drums and dobro show. So
I didn't know that.
Yeah, I play kick drum and hi-hat, and I play dobro, and I sing over it, and I do like a stomp blues. It's like a rock and roll stomp kind of thing. It's fun. Yeah, and I've been doing it for years. But before the guys could come back and start playing again, I was just doing gigs like that, or maybe like a duo with the harp player because the clubs couldn't pay for a full band. But me just getting paid by myself was kind of helpful. The guys just kind of kept things, going the best we can. But now the band's back, and we're going to be with George Thorogood in Canada. We're doing the Canada Trans Canada tour.
Well, tell all those guys Sugar said hello, man, and tell them I got some cigars for him when I see him.
I absolutely will.
No, that was a good analogy you just gave too. That the thing was like it's like a freight train and then slamming on the brakes, which is just catastrophic,
Yeah,
and
the whole thing just piles up. But we made this record right before the pandemic, so it's too late. And I did not want to release this record when the pandemic hit like that because I knew we weren't going to be able to sell any.
Well, you smart because I saw that a lot of people. I mean, give a shout out to Eric Corn. We had finished our album before the pandemic. Like I said. By 2021, the album was done, and Eric and I talked about it, and we were just like, man, releasing that album right now. Actually, the album was done in 2020. We were like, releasing that album right now is like spitting in a 50-mile-an-hour wind. I said,
yeah.
But I saw some people release albums, and it's like, they couldn't tour behind it, and so we were like. We had a couple songs left over from the Grammy Award nominated album, Somebody Save Me. So what Eric wound up doing was releasing like 3 singles digitally and stuff just to keep our name out there the time. But I mean, we couldn't tour. I mean, I got a 7-8 piece band, like it was crazy, man. That was something, and I mean, I've been writing about it, but it is something that you never really. I mean, it was bad on everybody, but like I told somebody at the beginning, I said, this thing is freaky. I said, because musicians will be the first guys out of work, will be the last guys go back to work because our livelihood is
well put.
Yeah, because our livelihood is people.
Mm-hmm.
And like, how can a venue that holds 400, 500 people, and they could only get what? I think at one point they raised it up where I think they could get 50 or 60 people in. But my tickets are anywhere from 20 to $60 when I'm charging. A lot of times, that's why I like to do a lot of festivals because people can just pay one price and they get to see a lot. But you gotta do club dates and theater dates to what's called. But that means that the tickets would have to be Joe Bonamassa prices for 60 people. It's like, you come see Sugar, but the tickets are like $500 for these 50 people. It's like, so I think there's some advantages when you have a smaller band, but even still, it was like, and now I'm trying to put it all back together.
Yeah, that's the thing. And I got this new record. It's not so new because we're going to release it in January. I think it basically right after the IBC. I'll be down there. I heard you mention you'll be
good. We get to hang.
That's right. Yeah, and I'm doing a night at the Rum Boogie. But my new record, I'm really proud of it, man. I produced it with my manager and my sister. I said to my sister a while back, she's like, "This is one of your best records you've made so far." So.
Right on.
Yeah, so I love the songs are strong. It sounds great.
Eric Sassaman is not here, but can you hold that up so we can see it? You have a copy of it?
I would love to. Yeah, I would love to.
There it is, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, you were good, right? Go back toward you, right there.
All right.
Nick Schnebelen, what key is trouble in? Yeah, I like that, baby. And so what day are you releasing that?
I think it's gonna be It's gonna be early February.
Early February, all right, right around my birthday.
Right on Vinstone Records. We're doing a Vinstone this time.
Right on. Vinstone's been doing a great job, man. I call them the new Delta Groove. That's what it reminds me.
Yeah,
that's
the way to put it.
Well, you got to have those labels, Delta Groove, Vinstone. I know there was another one that just wasn't cat food, but it was one that was on the West Coast that was doing that sort of thing. They just went under, but. Delta Groove. Whether you like Randy Sharkoff or not, he made life bearable for a lot of us because a lot of us couldn't get deals because we were unknown and wasn't in Chicago or you weren't in New York. So it was like, he did a lot to bring us to the masses. Thank you, Lawrence. That Lawrence put up your info. Thank you, but see, I have a great crowd of people. They know the deal. Eric Sassaman is gonna be upset when he see this. Like, people doing my job.
I just want to say too, everybody out there, I've done the Svalbard festival, the Dark Season Festival. I did that. I think it was 2016. I did that, And we've been hanging. You and I've been hanging out all over the world over the.
Were we together? Were we together at Dark Seasons?
I don't know. I think we could. We may have been.
I can't remember, man.
They start running together. I know.
My mind's like a steel seal, as they used to say.
But man, Gross Festival, heck, and all the, Patrick, like you say, Patrick Kaiser.
The Gross Festival was a lot of fun.
And all the blues cruises. I don't know. I think I've done about 14 of the blues cruises.
The last one of the Gross Festivals I did, believe it or not, I was with your sister.
Yeah. Oh,
yeah, we hung out all night. Good people. So I like, okay, that's cool. So you're gonna release that in February. And you've been playing around. Like I said, you've been playing around Kansas, but
we've been doing a little, like we're doing some flyouts on the weekend stuff, but hitting the ground running for 3 weeks straight. It's just it's not back there yet.
No.
We were
even for me, I got people have been asking, when I'm coming here, when I'm coming there, and I believe me, y'all, we want to come. It is still very, very dicey. I got a show coming up on the 5th in Bakersfield at World Records, and even just to fly, most of y'all know my bass player. I had to get rid of the guys in London because it just became too stressed to get them from London to gigs. And that's why I hired Juju and DJ. But even flying overseas there, my buddy Eric Gales, we were just doing the big festival up in the mountains here, and I can't think of the name of it. Good Lord, the Mammoth Blues Festival. And I was talking to him, and he was saying that he had just came back overseas, and he had to pay for the band to sit in a hotel room for 5 days because the flights were screwed up. They lost 11 pieces of his luggage that he never got back. Same thing happens to some other people I know who lost guitar. It's still very crazy. Even when we went to Europe this year, we tried to do everything by train, and even the trains, which were better than the flights, but even the trains were delayed and stuck. And we had to fly. We were playing in Sierra, Switzerland, and then the next day from there we was flying home, and when we got to the airport to fly from England to there, they had canceled our flights. Luckily I had the room on my credit cards. It was like I had to pay $6,000 for a different airline to get there, but we didn't have a choice because that was the way we fly. So it's been, and even in the states, and like I just said, Eric Sassaman's trying to fly to New York. He had to spend the night last night in Dallas because the flights were still messed up. So it's still, I don't know when do you think that it might get back to where we could actually?
Yeah. Good point. Real quick, I want to say thanks. Good to hear from you, Andrea.
Oh yeah,
Andrea. You say your name.
Out of Switzerland,
yeah, from Swiss. What's the said? It's the derailed train of our lives and our society. So it's just going to be until that all gets really starts getting put back together. I mean, it's the economy. It's also gas prices, and it's also hotels. Like an $80 hotel that we used to get when we were bouncing around on a night off is now $130. And
well, $130 depending on where you are, brother. Believe it or not, I had a Super 8 hotel, Super 8, a Super 8 that wanted to charge me $350 a room.
What?
Yes, sir. And I'm not making that up. That is a true thing.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. See, so stuff like that can knock just a little bit of that will knock a tour out.
Well, like I said, with me, it's a 7-piece band, and we've always tried to be as economical as we can. We double up on rooms. So normally I try to get 4 rooms, and we try to double instead of trying to ask for 7, which I haven't really asked for 7 in a long time. Some festivals can do it, but you because they got deals. But dude, what you just said is the big thing that people don't understand. It's like, okay, well, we pay you 10 grand. All right, well, 10 grand 4 years ago was okay. Today, it cost me 6 grand in flights to get there. Then by the time I pay for hotel rooms, I'm paying the guys $100 for 3 days of their life. It just,
Yeah, exactly.
It's crazy. It's kind of like, have you ever played Australia?
Never been to Australia yet.
Me either. I've had several invites. The problem is, even before the pandemic, just for me to fly there was anywhere from $15,000 to $18,000. So if someone offering you 20 grand, It's like, dude, I cannot come all the way to Australia for $3,000.
That's the starting point. Yeah,
that's the starting point. And so I think I'm hoping that the promoters have got that the thing that inflation has gone up, and it's like, it's not that we want to try to charge more, it's like we have to, or we can't do it.
Yeah,
like you just said, hotel rooms have gotten ridiculous. Gas, I have diesel trucks. I've always had diesel was always dirt cheap. Now everywhere, I just drove from here to Savannah, Georgia, and all the way across, I did see what I call cheap. There was a couple places where it was always down to $4.59, but most places was anywhere between $5.20 to $5 and 80 cents to like in LA is $7 for diesel. It's $7. It's $6.99. It is what it is. I mean, so
it's not like that out here. But I'll tell you what though, I got a hot rod pickup truck, and it gets on a good day about 10 to 11 miles per gallon.
Good Lord.
Fuel. And during the pandemic though, there was because I like to put 93 octane in it when I can get it, when I can afford it. But it got down to $1.50 a gallon.
What?
For ultra premium or whatever,
It must be nice to be in Missouri, because it ain't never like that on the West Coast, brother.
No, it's not. So yeah, you also, I was also just wanted to say, say a little bit about some of the tunes on my new record. It's the titles. What key is trouble in? Whether that's, and to me sometimes, having blues and is about being in trouble, whether it's relationship troubles or personal troubles, or also like I got a couple songs in this record that are kind of like social trouble songs about being homeless and living on. And I grew up on the poor side of town in the country when I was a kid, and then I moved up to the poor side of town in Kansas City when I was early teenager, and so I always loved my poor side of town because that's all I ever knew.
Yes, sir.
But I want to talk. I wanted to bring up a few social issues. People trying to stay in the train station at night with their kids and they get kicked out. Cops kick them out because they don't. And they're just saying it's a place where they're not hurting anybody, not troubling anybody. They're just going to get out of the rain, and they kick them out. And I was just
our country really
talking about what the troubles. That's what this record's about.
Our country, we really seem to have maybe every country, but I can't speak on every country. I live here. We seem to have a real problem with that and mental health. I don't know why we stigmatize homelessness and mental health so bad, and a lot of times they're hand in hand. And it's a sad state of affairs. But what you said is very true. Sometimes it's families. A lot of times, like in California, we meet not all, but a lot of the homeless out here are mental patients and drugs. But people forget that a large population of homeless are just families, and most people don't think about it. But a lot of people, I would say, in the old days it was 30%, but I would say 70% of America today is literally one paycheck away from being homeless. It doesn't take much. It doesn't take much.
And not every homeless person also has mental problems or a drug problem. There's good people that are just, and they're not bad. They just got bad. They had some bad luck.
Bad luck.
They could even and they could be just living in a minivan. Just like you said, they had that one paycheck and it's gone now.
Yes,
so
sir.
Now, what are they going to do?
Yeah, and like you said, that's why I said that, because I want to let people know that. I'm glad you said that, because it's not always about mental, and it's not always even about because for some reason, you hear a lot of people like, well, they're just lazy. They just no. A lot of times it's full on families or like I said, just good people. And that's why I was saying that people don't realize sometimes you're one paycheck away from being homeless. One or two missed payments, and the next thing you know, you're being evicted and you got nowhere to go and you have no money. It's crazy. It's scary, because there's, as far as I know, unless some of the fans that can tell me, there's literally really not much of a fallback. A lot of other countries, France or Norway, and now they don't have the population we have, but they take care of. Not saying that there's no homelessness there, but it's nothing like, there's an estimated 2.5 million homeless in Los Angeles. And when you drive through LA, you can see it. Think about that, y'all. As busy as LA is, there's almost an estimated 2.5 million homeless people wandering around LA County at any given time.
Yes, and Kansas City's gotten just as bad. It's not as big as LA, of course, but man, it's bad, and Kansas City's really got a bad homeless problem right now, or homeless condition.
Well, I applaud you for bringing up those social issues, and I think the pandemic did that to all of us because my last 3 albums have all been about from the world we live in to Somebody Save Me to now In Too Deep. They're all about the social issues, and it's been bothering me a lot over the last 7 years. But I applaud you for speaking on it because it's kind of a scary thing when you walk on stage and talk about this stuff because sometimes people don't want to hear it, but it needs to be said.
But I got one song. I wish I had it to play for you right now, but it's for Sugaray. It's called I Got Love in My Heart.
Right on, brother. I love that.
That's your track.
I'm gonna have to. Make sure you bring one with you to Memphis so I can buy that off you. So I can buy it. Yeah. No, I'm gonna buy it off you because we musicians, brother. I'm gonna give you some money, brother. I appreciate that. I love you very much, but I'm gonna buy it because we musicians. That $20, we can spit that over a drink or something or whatever. So I want to play another track from you if that's okay.
I'd love to.
All right, I'm gonna shut up. I'm gonna pull myself off the screen. And I'm gonna put this track up, Nick. And if you would, when I put it up, describe people what's going down.
Okay, I want to thank you for having me too.
Go ahead, Nick. Go ahead. I want you to go ahead and introduce this track. Can you see it? Oh, that's right. You can't see it. This track is Nick Schnebelen band. It says "We'll Stay." Go ahead from there.
Yeah. Oh, Will I Stay? Yeah. It's on the new record too. This one made the new album. It's a rockin' number. I love. It's got a whole musical section in the middle. I wrote this song and performed it with my old band K-Flora back on the East Coast, and now we put it out as a track for this record. And this is Don Odell's sessions. Have you ever done any Don Odell's, Sugaray? Okay, yeah.
No, I haven't been blessed, man. I played the Moulin Blues Festival. Matter of fact, I literally just played it this year. Me, Beth Hart, awesome. Mike Zito, and Kriston Kingfish. So I'm gonna shut up though. I'll let you talk. Go ahead.
Just love. Yeah, it's a great track. But yeah, Don Odell's. He has blues artists in. It's a television studio, and he invites a small audience, about 20 people, 25 people, and you film, and you do a whole show, and then they put it up and they cut it up, put it up on there for you, and it looks great. No more, yeah, you're hanging around my door. I got to see you, yeah, somewhere else. And I gotta see you, baby, yeah, with somebody else. Will I stay? Will I stay? No, 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 I can't stay. Will I stay? Will I stay? Well, no, 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 I can't stay.
that?
Go on, mama. Be on your way. I can't take you no more. Lord, not one more day. I got my bag, baby. I left my key. You leave me pretty, baby. Yeah, I can't stand with your disease. When I stay, no, 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 I can't stand. When I stay, no, 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 I can't stay, baby. Don't leave me, baby. I'm on my way. No, 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 I can't stay. When I stay, no, no, no.
Right on. And we couldn't hear you. Wait a minute. Where's that thing? We couldn't hear you over the music. We saw that you was talking.
Okay.
What were you saying?
I was just replying to some of the some of the responses that are popping through on the feed here, and just some of the texts and stuff saying, thanks Andrea and Nan and all. There's everybody's getting on here, throwing it down. I love it. It's
Right
so
on.
cool.
I saw Big
You got
Red.
friends from all over the world, don't you, Sugaray?
Yeah, there are people literally. Not as many. I mean, there'll be more that'll be listening to it later because I don't know what. But right now, I think there's probably, as I'm looking at it, there's 12 different countries on here, or 13 if you include the United States. So people from from Spain to Norway to Switzerland to Germany, Canada, all over the U.S., Brazil, and Argentina. So we got people from everywhere on there right now, man. So they digging you, brother. They digging what you like. Do me a favor. I saw you put up. Oh, I'm sorry, Lawrence, because you've been so great. Lawrence, thank you. Holland also. They can't say that.
Holland.
Oh, I'm sorry, Nicole. And Scotland.
Scotland.
See, that's why I don't like to start mentioning names because you forget somebody. And it's like,
Don't leave anybody out.
Big Red, that's Mary Liz. That's what I call her, Big Red. I've known her for a while now. Good people. I met her back when I was doing the theater stuff out there. And she says, what do you call that with your hands reversed on the neck of the guitar?
Just being left-handed. Being a left-handed guitarist, I would believe it's.
I think she's talking about the part where she saw you when you reached over with your right hand and you grabbed the headstock and you just pull it up on the.
Oh yeah, I pulled up on the strings. Yeah, stage tricks.
do me a favor.
Showmanship.
Showmanship, baby. Hey, don't laugh about that because I'm a strong opponent that the problem with the blues sometimes is that some blues artists have gotten so serious they forgot that this is called entertainment.
Yeah, that's right. I'll agree with that.
It's called the show business.
Yeah.
The
show business. Yeah.
And don't get me wrong, there's sometimes it's great to have that intensity of getting into what thing, but you got to remember there are people that are watching you. You know me, I'm a showman.
Yeah.
I'm serious about it, but at the same time, I believe on putting on the show. You're the same way. That's why we work.
Everybody going.
But that's why we work together work well together because you got the kind of energy I have, and I was digging it, man.
Oh yeah, I had a blast playing with you, the Blues Giants, and I'd always you got your things going, and I got mine. I was always thinking about that when we first met. When we were first talking. I was like, I don't know what we can do, but we're gonna do something. And sure enough, we get a chance to. So,
and we, you know what? Before I go, I want. You got a few more minutes? I mean, we're over a bit, but let me. I want to go back to YouTube. I want to see if I can find some Blues Giant stuff. Meanwhile, will you put up your album again so everyone can see it?
Sure. There it is. Yes. And these are it's unreleased. It's coming out. Here's the front of it. You got the Les Paul in the front, and then here's the back of it. Yeah. And so there's a lot of, and it's got a lot, and there's a lot of photographs. There's a pedal board. There's my guitars, some of the guitars I played on it, my American flag guitar. And I'm just really proud of this record. It's my first self-produced record with my manager Chris Hardwick. We both did it together, and I wrote all the songs for it, and and it's Cliff and Adam and I, and then we had a few guests on it. We had Red Young played some keys on it.
Oh man, I love Red Young. You know what? Yep. And more people should know about Red, man. I told the first time I met Red was at when the what's the biggest Big Blues Bender, and when I go in there, they have me always do the Sunday gospel show and whatnot. But I met Red and I heard him playing. I was literally walking through the casino, and they were doing like one of them 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning things, and I was like, I heard that beat. I grew up at the church, so I heard this B3 playing. And I'm like, okay, somebody is from my neck of the woods. And I walked in there, and there was Red on the B3. And I remember telling Red, I said, Red, you one of the blackest white people I've ever been in my life, man. This is serious. And I meant that as a compliment. Like, these are some of the serious chords, dude. This is like, and it's sad because I don't think more people outside his area really know who he is.
Yeah, I don't know if maybe he caught the same show or maybe he's been back. But there was one time he had him on B3, Tony Bronigal was playing drums, and then Mark from Roomful of Blues.
Yeah.
And it was a 3-piece, and it was just organ, sax, and drums. And Red was kicking bass on the organ. Man, they were smoking.
Well, that's a hell of a lineup anyway.
Yeah, right.
So, Red, man, amazing. Let me play one more video. This is us. This is the Blues Giants, and it's funny because the one that popped up was Mulan.
All right.
Check this out, y'all.
Mulan, is so good to be back. How's about little Freddie King?
Awesome.
Thank you, Lawrence.
shining. Like the tears that fall from my eyes as I sit in my room.
Yeah, what do you say?
Staring out the gloom. It's the rain. It's the same old.
Hey, David, what's up?
I can't help but thinking.
Willie J. Campbell, man.
Yep.
When the sun used to shine on my back door, now the sun has turned to rain, and all my left is in the pain. It's the rain, child. It's the same old blues.
I like that.
Sunshine is all we see now.
Rock and roll.
But it all look like clouds to me.
Yeah.
As I sit in my room, staring out at gloom. It's the rain. It's the same old blues. It's the rain. Child, it's the same old blues. Yeah, it's the rain. It's the same old blues. Yeah, 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 yeah. Old school.
Yeah, man. That was man. We had a blast, dude.
Yeah. Yes, we did.
It was a pleasure playing with you, man. I love you to death. You have like the greatest spirit, and you're a talented mofo. So get those together.
right back to you there, man. Right back to you. Always so proud. I was so proud of you. Always so proud of you. You make me real proud.
Gary Wright, I'm sorry I was not able to make the benefit, man. I did not literally get home until night before last at 2 a.m. Gary Wright, for those of us that know him out here in Phoenix, who's just like one of the nicest people in the world, is fighting cancer, which come back on him. This is the fourth time that he's beat it, I think 3 times, and we're hoping that we're praying that he beats it this time. Gary, we love your chef. I love you, man, and I'm there for you. If you need me, just call. I'm home all this week. Until the 4th in a way, and then I'm running. But at the end of the month, I'm home through December. So if you need me, I'm there for you, brother. I love you very much, and I appreciate you. We appreciate you. My guest today has been the incredible Nick Schnebelen. Just good people, talented cat. He's got a new album coming out in February, and the title of that album is "What Key is is Trouble In, or is the Blues In?"
That's it. No, you got it. What key is trouble in?
What key is trouble in? I like that, man. I saw people comment. One of my biggest things, I always tell people that I don't do concerts. I hate concerts. What I mean by that is, when people think concerts, most people thinking about like jazz or orchestra. They want to sit down and be comfortable, and no matter what we're doing, it's a party. Bring your party shoes. I like the old school. I like when you might look nice when you came in there, but I want you to sweat your perm out. I want that dress to be funky. It's got to go to the cleaners. It should be a party.
Get a little messy. Gotta get messy.
Yeah, it should be. That's what you came for. You came to have a good time. Right?
I gotta tell you something I've been doing lately is I do this. It's called Nick Schnebelen's Blacklight Blues Party. And so what we do is I got this blacklight artist. His name's Craig Mildrexler, and he does these blacklight paintings. And when you put the glasses on, they're 3-dimensional. You can see they're really wild looking.
Okay.
Maybe I come on again sometime. I'll show you some of his art. But so I put on a space kitty romper. It's like this cat riding a shark, puking a rainbow. It's like this psychedelic outfit. And then I put some shades on, and we get the black lights going on stage. We got this funky artwork, and it's a mixture of music and art. But everybody's got the glasses on, walking around.
But I love that because what's so funny is last night I was up to about actually went to bed early. I went to bed by 1:30 a.m., which is early for me. But I was up all night watching Parliament, and I just got in one of those. Started going down the rabbit hole on YouTube, and with just Parliament. And George understood that in the 60s. He understood funk. P-Funk was about, it was incorporating the music and art and artistry. Exactly. Yep. Him and Prince, I always pulled to those guys as guys that, if I had the money, those backdrops and things that they would, it was the art that lended to the music, because this is entertainment, but it's also art is that other medium like music that crosses over language and borders. It's you either get it or you don't. You either get it. And so when you get people who can marry those two together seamlessly, it is a tour de force, man. So that sounds really cool. It's so weird that you said that because I was going down that rabbit hole last night, and I was just thinking man, if I could just do this, if I could do that, But the black, that's cool. Can you mention his name again?
His name's Craig Mildrexler. I'll send you some pictures too. But he also had him paint a guitar for me. So I got this blacklight blues guitar.
Right on.
It looks crazy. But you're right though. Music is music. Has a language to it. As music, there's lyrics to it that are saying in a language. But the music itself is a language that no matter what language you speak, you can understand. And visual art does the same thing. There's no words. It's all, it's the images. So
but, think about it. That's why
anybody can see it and get it.
That's why I said that, because we're blessed to go places that most people work all their lives to save up to go.
Yeah.
And I said that to say this, the reason why I say that music and art transcends borders and languages is, I would say in some countries that I go to, it may be 10% of the artists or 15% of artists that truly understand the words that I'm saying. But I would say that 98% of the artists of the congregation or the venue, they understand the emotion, because whether you call it love or amore or whatever, the emotion is still the same. Every language may give it a different sounding name, but the base of it is the same, whether it be love, it be sadness, it be anger, it be joy, it be pity, you know, so that's why I think art and music are those, you know, when people say, oh, it's the international language, a lot of people say that, but they don't really understand that. But people like us, we've got to see that firsthand. You know that.
You know it. That's absolutely true. Absolutely true.
Man, so that's amazing. So I'm looking forward to seeing you in Memphis. I'm looking forward to getting my copy of the album so I can bring it back here and actually play it live on the show and play some stuff. So I wanted to ask you a question because I asked this of a lot of guitarists. How many do you own?
Oh my gosh! I just got 2 new ones. I got one. I got 40.
Yeah, 40.
Or probably about 40. Yeah, but I'm probably 25 to 30 of them are actually nice guitars, and then there's some other ones that aren't as, you know, nice as the other ones. But,
so what are your, because, you know, this has been the new thing probably like the last 12 years, you know, most guys don't carry their baby because, you know, you have 1 or 2 that are your baby. Most guys don't carry their babies overseas anymore. So when you're going overseas or you going anywhere where your baby has to be out of your hand, I should say that much. What is your go-to guitar then?
I just finished it. It's a triple pickup, just like it's an Albert Collins guitar. It's called the Wolfman.
The Wolfman, yeah, I like that.
Right. You'll see the Wolfman.
Yeah, the Wolf, like, hey man, they say what they say, Holly Wolf. Say, hey man, they ask, why you carry that knife? He said, I'd rather go to your funeral any day before I go to mine.
Yeah, that's it. That's true. That's it. Right.
The Wolfman. So what does that look like?
It's a triple pickup. I'll
you got to pull it out, man. You got to pull it out. We got to see it. Come on, man. Where is it?
Okay. I got it right here. But I'll be definitely in Memphis. I just got the idea that I want to go down and I want to come down and bring my Blacklight Blues party to the Rum Boogie.
Yeah.
Here we go. Let's see if we can see this here on the thing. Okay.
Go up in the air. There we go. And then pull back toward you. A little bit more. Right there.
There you go.
Wow.
But here, this is why it's called the Wolfman. If you look up the fretboard.
Oh, yeah, you got wolves in different positions on there. Oh, wait a minute. Is that a human turning into a wolf?
That's what it is.
Right on.
That's what it's called, the Wolfman.
See, man, you're so freaking artistic, brother.
Yeah. I'm having some fun with it. I love it. You know, it's all tied together, like you said. You know, that's what we're here for.
So who built that for you?
My friend, his name's Donnie Miller. He's a great guitar player from out of Kansas City area. He's been building guitars for cats around town, and he's got this company called Cheapo Casters. And what
Cheapo Casters.
Well, first off, he's an excellent guitar player. He's a good builder, but he doesn't really get much for doing them. He likes to give people like $300 or $400 excellent guitars, like nice guitars that aren't $3,000.
Right.
You know, so I won't say what I had to, you know, to do to get that one, but it wasn't anything out of control.
But remember, Les Paul was the same way too, man. Yeah. Remember in the beginning, those Les Pauls were just really well built guitars. They wasn't super duper expensive. It wasn't until a lot of great artists started really digging and finding out how great those guitars were. And then once, you know, like anything, you know, once people start jumping on the bandwagon, the prices
it always go up. That's another thing. That's a fact.
Man, that's great. That's incredible. I'm with triple pickup. And what are you playing it through? What, you know, let's get geeky. I want to know what string sizes you use. I want to know your endorsements, and then what are you playing through?
Okay, well, I'm endorsed by Category 5, Delaney guitars as well. I use 10s. I use 10 gauge strings. I prefer the Diodarios. That's mainly because they come in packaging. So they used to come in these paper sleeves and they get all rusty strings, but they come in the packaging now, so I can take them. I like those. But I play through an original 64 Super reverb. Wow. And and then, you know, I use one pedal. And it's a full tone that Albert Castiglia gave me, like, I don't know, 12 years ago. And he gave it, he's like, you need to use this. And I said, thank you, man. And I use it a little bit, but then I realized that that combined with this amp is just, it's it.
Wait a minute. Right on. Hold on 1 second. Keep talking to the people about that. Keep going on. Go on.
Okay, no problem.
Give me a second.
I got you. I got Sugaray channel to myself.
Be right there.
All right. Let's talk about Sugar, guys. Come on. What do you got? No. Yeah. No. Touring is flying overseas with guitars is it's a dangerous thing. You really don't want to take your best guitar, but you always want to bring an excellent guitar because you never know what's going to happen on the planes. I mean, Les Paul on the cover of this record right here, that Les Paul, the headstock's been broken. I think 4 or 5 times now. That's right, I'm on it. Yeah. So, what do you guys tell me something about Sugaray? Come on, I'm looking. Sugaray, he's a lot of fun to tour with, and he's such a great guy. I'm so proud of him, and you guys know he brings that energy, and that energy you feel with him bringing it. I feel that on stage too when I get to play next to him. He's a heck of a guy. I love his band, and I can't wait to see this. Shh, quiet, don't tell him. Yeah, don't.
Wait a minute. Okay, sorry about that, y'all.
Don't tell him. Quiet, he's back.
I'm not even going in there. I'm not even going to it. So a 65. Now, where did you get that 65? Like, it's not a reissue. You said it's an original.
Yeah, it's an original one, man. I got it back out of the East Coast, actually. My friend said he's like this lady's got a couple of these Fender Supers for sale, and I was like, and he gave me the prices of them. And they're expensive. They get, but I said, well, ask her what would happen if you buy, because he wanted one of them and I wanted the other. So I said, well, why don't we try to buy them together and get a deal? So she cut us a deal on both of them. So I got a really good deal. They're going for about $2,500. I got it for like $1,300, I think, $1,200. But
that's still a good deal. That's a good deal for a 65 original.
Yeah. So the thing is that yeah, exactly. But playing guitar, for me, it's gotta. I don't want to be the loudest musician on stage by any means or anything like that. But my good friend Roger Neighbor said, dude, when you get up there, you need to turn that thing up and crank and play the hell out of it.
Roger told you that?
Yes. He said, turn that thing up and play the hell out of it. And I'm like, it. So I just turned it up a little more and then just lay into it. That's what I do at my shows.
Hey man, the greatest one for that was Albert King. People don't realize that when Albert King played live, because they're not into the technical part, that Albert never went through I want y'all to know this, that even when he was at the Fillmore and all these big places that were packed to the rafters, Albert never played through the PA. He was never mic'd because he turned his amp that big. I think he was using a 6 cab, wasn't he? He was using one of the refrigerators. He used
his son, his son 6. It's like some huge amp,
and it must be 100 watts or more. But he would turn that thing up to 10, and that's what he plays. So when y'all hearing Albert King on those live shows, you're not hearing him come through the PA. You're hearing him literally off the stage. Did you know that?
I did know that.
They didn't mic him. He couldn't mic him. But, he just turned it to 10. And so when you see it, if you go on YouTube and you see him playing live and all this stuff, that is literally his stage volume that you are hearing.
They're mixing everything else around it.
And they're mixing everything else around it. Yeah. Yeah.
That's incredible.
Well, look, man, I ain't gonna hold you any longer. We already been on here an hour and 43 minutes.
Hey, it's a blast. I could sit on here all day with you, man. You're the best.
Well, your buddy David Hammer had asked. He said, "Let me put it back up." He said, "Has the release date been set on the new album, man?"
Yeah, I think there is a street date. I don't want to give you the wrong one, so I'm just going to say early February.
And Nicole Muller said, "Who is the guitar player you look up to, Nick?"
Oh man, well, I love Albert. I love Albert Collins a whole lot because he has a really unique style of playing. It's composed, compared to a lot of other guitarists. I love, who I look up. I look up to a lot of the greats, but for different reasons. I like Johnny Winter. He's got a wit on a guitar. He's a witty guitar player, and he always had a really cool style in producing. I love Billy Gibbons from ZZ Top's great in the way he plays. He was one of Jimi Hendrix's favorite guitarists. I love George Thorogood's stage presence, and how he grind on that slide, man. And you know, there's something, a little something for everybody. BB King's one of my favorites because he'd start doing slow blues. He was playing all this real pretty kind of Django Reinhardt stuff, and in his own way, and made his own thing too. And that's the one thing for me is I love guitar players that have found their own sound, no matter what it is.
Yeah.
And I mean, no matter what it is, and you got to I find my own too, and it's still, but you know, I'm a lot closer now than I was when I was in my 20s, and I feel confident in the way that I'm going for more of the sting than the burn.
Right on. I got 3 more questions, 3 more little things, and I'm gonna let you go.
No
First of all, let's just say hello to everybody on the Blues Cruise. I just saw Julie Richardson jump in, so all the Blues Cruisers.
Yes.
Secondly, I just lost my train of thought, but we're gonna say hello, Julie and Julie and all you guys.
Yeah.
You know, you mentioned all those people and getting their own sound. That's what I was gonna say is, you know, I'm one of those band leaders. I am very conscious of that, and this is why I let my band members. You know, I'm one of the few guys. If you come to my shows, you'll see the guys getting a lot of spotlight because, you know, I think that you develop who you are in front of big crowds like that. You either
you have too. You know, you got your own. You are Sugaray Rayford.
Yeah, well, you know, I've been this since, you know, before my mama died. I ain't never changed. But you know, a lot of people. There's a lot. I was shocked when I found musicians that we play club dates that would just burn the place down. You just be like, oh my freaking God. Then I get them out in front of 15, 30,000, 100,000 people, and they would shrink. And I would be like, dude, you just, you know, you know, it was weird. And I'm not gonna call their names, but there's quite a few of them I met that way. And you know, the last thing I want to ask is like, you know, I know you must come from I don't say I know this, but your whole family, since I've known you, you guys have all done music. So my question is, and this show's about you, that's why I haven't mentioned any names of your other family members, whether I was trying to be disrespectful, but this show is about you. So that's why we're focusing on Nick Schnebelen. But when did you pick up the guitar, and did you play any other instruments? You mind talking about a little about that, and then we're gonna really get this thing out of here.
No, that's totally fine. Yeah, you know, I come from a long line of musicians. My father was a great guitarist and a songwriter, and he was okay singer, but he was mainly a good writer. And my mom sang with him, and they played together. They had a first blues band. One of the first blues band they put out in 1990 or 1989. They put out the first blues CD in Kansas City. Nobody had ever put a blues CD out.
Wow!
And their band was called Little Evo and the Works. And my father's grandmother, she was a guitarist, and she played with my great grandfather in a string band called the Silver String Sextet in the 1920s. I have her 1922 0045 Martin that she used to play.
Wow!
It's a very you know, it's an heirloom, family heirloom. And then their parents played. You know, my great grandfather was a violinist over in Slovakia. And then my mom's side, she sang. Her mother was Evelyn Skinner. And Evelyn Skinner. She used to sing with Count Basie in Kansas City.
Yeah, I knew that name. Yeah.
And she had her own band back
then.
But
I actually have some vinyl with her singing on it with Basie and those guys.
Are you kidding me?
No, that's why I knew the name.
Real? Oh, geez. I need you. That's my.
No, you can't have it, brother. I love you, but I'm sorry. I'll will it to you after I die.
I want to see it, or just want to hear it. But okay, but not to keep it longer, and just talking about it, and of course my sister Danielle Nicole is one of the best female singers in the world, best singers in the world.
But thank you. I'm saying there's no female male. It's just singers. You either sing or you can't.
Yeah. And then, and my brother passed in January, but he was a great drummer, and God miss him. That's been such a hard year. But what I was going to add is that my oldest daughter, Madeline, she's 15. She plays violin, and she plays piano, and she sings, and she just got third at state with for her violin solo. And
wow!
Then she has a quartet called the Schnebelen String Quartet.
Well, congratulations!
They got third at state too.
What?
And Danielle's boy Eli plays guitar, and he's killing it on the guitar. He's 12. So what I'm trying to say is that, you know, the music's moved through us. You know,
Right
we
on.
didn't move. The music's just moved through us, and you know, and it goes on both sides of the fence. So
Generations of it. So
yeah.
so again, when did you pick up?
Oh yeah. I picked up playing when I was about eight or 10, and I was playing my dad's guitars right-handed upside down because I didn't have any guitars yet.
Yeah.
So I played upside down for about 8 years, and then went to high school for it, and they let me go. I went to a performing arts high school, and I had to. They said you can come to school next year, but you have to learn how to play the right way for finger picking.
It's so stupid that it's see that's what happens sometimes when you get with. I mean, I'm gonna jump and say this. This is what happens sometimes when you get people who are too academic in music, and if you listen to everything that they say, then the music would just be linear instead of having branched off the way it did. Because the great thing about music, especially blues, jazz, funk, and even a little bit with country, but especially blues, jazz, and funk. The great thing is it was from people who were not classically trained. So they found innovative ways to make the things that they were hearing in their head, which later became styles and all this stuff. And I think that if they've been formally trained, they would never even thought outside the box to get that sound.
They wouldn't take those risks.
Right. Well, because at the time they didn't think they were risks.
No, exactly.
You know, it's the way they found to play that chord. It's the way that they thought that this way, you know, and that what made the beauty of it. That's the beauty of it.
Yeah, it totally is, man.
Well, look, man, go ahead.
We could go on. You know, Jimmy Reed style. You know, he played like that because him and Muddy Waters used to do house concerts, just the two of them.
Yeah.
So somebody had to play a rhythm.
Yeah.
Like a drum, like a beat while they're playing guitar. So
well, people don't realize. I don't think sometimes people realize the evolution of music. You know, going back to Parliament. You know, people don't realize that George Clinton started out as a doo-wop singer.
Yeah. Oh wow.
Yeah.
Yeah. They were doing the Parliaments.
Yeah, they were the Parliaments. That's right.
Yeah.
They were the Parliaments, and then for a while he lost the rights to the name of the Parliaments. Then he got it back, and then they went into the funk thing. The other thing is that Bootsy. I had a video from way back. Bootsy was 16. It was him and Hendrix, and I think this was before he even. But people don't know he was with James Brown. Also, they don't realize that a lot of that.
Yeah,
was,
they didn't know that he was.
Yeah,
after the.
But even before that was him and Hendrix, 16 years old, wearing tuxedos somewhere in Canada, and they were playing like classical. Some kind of classical crap, you know, they were like young, you know, there's always an evolution, you know, and then one day you have what we always say, those of us that get lucky enough, because there's a lot of luck involved to get to a certain level, you have an epiphany. And I told people, you know, it took me years, you know, because I was a choir director and all this other stuff. Before singing, I sang a few. My mother was one of the most incredible singers, and my family was so fragmented. I recently, not too long ago, maybe a few years, just found out that we had all this music that went back 100 years in our family. So I literally recently just found that out. Then all these great piano players and all this stuff, singers, and I just knew my mother. You know, so
that's incredible.
But having said that, you know, it's this thing that you know, the music is, you know, I lost my train of thought, but the music is just so. It is so all encompassing, and it is just a beautiful thing when it's left to its own devices.
I like that. That's well put.
It's a beautiful thing when it's not. You know, when you have that. Okay, when you have that epiphany, and that epiphany to me has always been when you realize one day, and it's not a thing about being arrogant. It's not a thing about being boastful. But when you realize one day, you wake up and realize that you are the best you on this planet, and you set into who you are, that's when musicians blossom. You know, some of us we get it at 10 years old, some of us don't get it until 50, but that's when you have your own signature sound. That's when you also have your own identity, because you realize I'm the best me there is on this planet. Why be a bad copy of somebody else?
Why be exactly?
It's a weird thing.
Yeah.
But it's true.
And it's, you know, it's okay. I think also for artists, I think it's okay to do, if you are really moved by a song that somebody else wrote and performed, that's well known, that's, you know, and you want to do it and you got your way of doing it, that's awesome. But you know, you sing your own songs, sing your own material.
Well, let's say
put your own songs.
Even if you're doing a cover, you're not that person. You know, I finally realized that when I had my funk band. You know, I could do all that Marvin Gaye stuff. I did all that, and believe it or not, I can do I call it vocal gymnastics. I can do runs from here to there. I got 2 octaves. I can go up and no, I can do all that. But you know, that's not where it was coming from. And you know, I always think about that quote that I heard from Albert King, and you may have heard this too. He was doing an interview somewhere. I don't know if it was in the States or Europe, but some band that was playing before him played one of his songs, and which is fine because that happens sometimes. I mean, it happened with me. It happened to me one time at the Waterfront Blues Festival with Maceo Parker was playing, and we woke up on stage, started playing Pastor Peas. I didn't even know he was there. He came on right after us, so that was kind of like. But the Albert King quote went. They said they were asking Mr. King, interviewing him. They said, "Man, what do you think about that band?" And of course, you know Albert King, who didn't bite his tongue. So Albert King said, "Man, they were good. They were so good. They even played my mistakes."
They even played my mistakes. Yeah.
That speaks volumes.
It does.
He said, "Man, they were good. They were so good. They even played my mistakes." I was like,
"That's incredible."
From that point on, it was like, you know what? No, I never try to copy a song exactly like, because I'm not that person. Emotionally, physically, mentally, I'm not that person. So I have to take my interpretation of their music. Anyway, we can go on forever. We're going to wind up being on this thing for another 2 hours. But anyway, ladies and gentlemen, my good friend, the amenable Mr. Nick Schnebelen. Thank you, Nick, for being here on the Suga Shack. We appreciate it, brother. I want to remind you that this will be archived on YouTube. It's going live on YouTube right now, and it's going live on Facebook. So, in the last words,
you know, I miss everybody out on the road. And I don't miss seeing my fans and friends on the road. I miss seeing my musician friends. So I can't wait to be hanging out with all you guys again real soon.
Right on, ladies and gentlemen. Right on, Lawrence. Thank you for taking the place of Eric today and putting up this great stuff. There's all Nick's info, and Lawrence got it all together, man. I may have to hire you, Lawrence. Don't tell that to Eric. He'll kill me. But
thank you so much, Sugaray.
Oh, man, thank you. I mean, we had some technical difficulties last night and the night before, but thank you for being so patient and working it all out. And we got it.
We got it.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'm Sugaray Rayford. That's Nick Schnebelen. You're listening to the Suga Shack. We're gonna see you next week. Actually, I'm gonna be back, so we will do the show next week. Once Eric get back, we'll post that. And as always, for God's sakes, be good to one another and to yourself. I'm Sugaray. Peace. Live long and prosper, y'all. Nick, hang around.
All right, you got it.